Sneakers and Cleats, the podcast.
Welcome back to the Sneakers and Cleats podcast. It is Monday, September 29th. This is episode 230. Matt Roy, Chuck McTeam, Don Harris. Guys, great weekend of sports. Great day of sports. The Spurs media day today. We got a great Cowboy game yesterday. Texans finally showed some life. Just a bunch of nice stuff going on. Plus, the best Saturday of college football that we've had all year.
A lot of sports and around.
Which I watched
the horsing around.
I watched the least amount of sports this weekend that I have the entire year, which sucks because Saturday was a great football day. But I was at a wedding in Chicago, which was fun. Finally saw the Windy City.
Matt, please tell us how you like Chicago.
You got married again?
Huh?
You got married again?
God, no. Thank God. Chicago was great. I did learn that the Windy City is not because of the weather.
You didn't know that before?
I didn't know that before. It's
because they're a bunch of blowhards.
Yeah, I didn't know that before.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's in part true. It still gets windy with the lake effect.
From the 1893 World Fair, they were trying to recruit the World Fair to Chicago, and Chicago was telling everybody how good they were, even though the entire town burned down 20 years previous in the Chicago fire of 1971 or 1871.
The great Chicago fire that we were not supposed to believe was a land grab back in the day.
What were they trying to get?
3.5 the World Fair. You know,
do they still have World Fairs?
You know, when they came to San Antonio.
It seems like nobody cares about the World. It was a big deal back.
A lot of people are tuning out right now, so we're gonna go ahead and get to sports. Anyway, Chicago was very fun. Wrigley's very fun. Wrigleyville, awesome. Make it out that way if you ever can. Even though you might need a pretty penny to get a beer in that stadium. It is quite expensive. Anyway, we got a lot going on. Huge reunion last night between Micah Parsons and the Cowboys, as that result was the most unsatisfying thing of the entire weekend.
I don't know. I kind of felt like my squad got away with one last night.
Yeah,
because it ain't a loss. And you watch at the end of the year, the fact that that's not a loss for either team is going to play big somewhere.
Yes,
yep,
100%. 100%. The Texans showed a little bit of life, even though they played what could be considered not a real football team in the Titans. They're so bad.
Yes.
they are. Even the quarterback, even Cam Ward said, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. We're ass. So, like, they're not good. So, and then the Spurs had their media day today. So, basketball is officially back, baby. Media day was very fun. We learned a lot from De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper on the – Dez, our editor, said it was the Texans' homecoming game. Anyway, it was De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper. We learned a lot about their injuries and how much time they might miss when it comes to the regular season. Don sat down with Steph Castle. We learned a lot of Wemby, who looks like a different person. He looks like he ate the previous Wemby, and now they spit out a new Wemby.
True that.
You ever see the Age of Ultron, Marvel Avengers, the Age of Ultron, when he like destroys the old one and then a new one appears? That's what it looks like. Wemby looks like he's a whole nother person.
Am I exaggerating if I said 20 pounds?
No, 15 is what I would put it at, but he looks big. He looks very big. We'll get to that right now. So there is no 230 area code in America. It's a different country in Europe somewhere. So we'll skip that. Don can't.
But how ironic
Don
that
can't cheat on this one.
It's 2:30 and we're taping at 2:30.
2:30, that is.
I know. It's almost like I planned it.
Worlds collide.
So, Don, give me your initial thoughts from Media Day today as we were up there at the Victory Capital Performance Center at the Rocket La Cantera for 3-ish hours or so.
I think the big takeaway for me is that Wemby did more than I thought he did this summer. Physically, training, basketball, getting stronger, and all that stuff. So if you paid attention to social media, it's like Wemby went to the Great Wall, spent a week with some monks, went to NASA, went to Europe, hung out and watched Eurobasket, played chess, did a lot of fun stuff, while you always would see Steph Castle in the gym, Dylan Harper at Summer League, other guys in the gym, everybody working out. Well, what happened was Wemby did do those things, but all along he was working, and the monk thing was a very physically taxing thing. An early part of his rehab / training came earlier while he was missing all that time with the blood clot. he started working and rehabbing. And what Wemby says is his training was a lot more violent. Like in the past, he would ride the bike, he would be on the treadmill, those kind of things to get in better conditioning, cardiovascular shape. This time he was actually on the court with coaches, taking elbows.
It was an
going through-
intriguing word choice.
Yeah.
Violent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very, I thought it was telling.
Yeah, because I think, and again, there's a lot of secrecy involved in his injury. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what his injury was, but we know it was in the right shoulder, and we know that it was a blood clot. And so I would think when doctors tell you there's no chance of this recurring because we fixed it, then it takes some confidence to go out and know that, right? Because he had symptoms. He had tingling, he had numbness, he had all those things. So those are gone now. But in order to gain confidence that you can play, I think he went out there and took a beating on that shoulder and just to get some confidence that it's not going to reoccur.
Yeah, and he said a couple of times today there's no thought about it at all anymore. He's moving forward. He doesn't have those thoughts in his head of trying to re-aggravate it or anything like that. He said that past months ago, and he's just been full steam ahead. This is what he said when asked about his body transformation, which is painfully apparent as soon as you see him.
So I did a lot, of pure mass, first of all, but you should ask the medical staff that are like all the scans and stuff, but of course I've added muscle mass. And my training this summer, I mean, it was brutal, it's been months. The first part of it was first like coming back and rehabbing and getting my abilities back. And after that, it was just so much developing, and I've spent, I can assure you nobody has trained like I did this summer. And this is my best summer so far. Like I can tell the progress is just incredible. I feel better. I look stronger. And, the scale says I'm heavier. So everything is a green light.
Yeah, and everything being a green light is music to Spurs fans' ears. Chuck, how happy should Spurs fans be to hear it's all systems go for their superstar after the worry that we all had a little bit earlier this season?
And I think, Dominic might be right. I mean, when you're talking about a guy like Victor with his long frame, he's going to mature and fill out. I mean, it might be 20 pounds. I mean, even in the face, he looks like he's matured.
Yeah, and you think about how Giannis developed, and from like year 2 to 3, he gained some weight. From 3 to 4, it was when Giannis became Giannis. And Victor seems to be going a little bit kind of in that trend of like, okay, I'm going to gain 10, 15 pounds here, 10, 15 pounds here. And now he's really putting it on to where it looks like he can withstand the rigors of a full NBA season.
Yeah, there's no question. And don't forget when he made the All-Star team and went off to the All-Star game and didn't come back and play after the All-Star game, he was averaging 25 points and 12 rebounds and 4 blocks a game. So, I mean, those are no numbers to laugh at. I mean, he's a legitimate star.
Yeah, and he seems like he's on a mission to be a star once again this year. He might have to do that at the beginning of the season, at least, without 2 of the other stars on the team. Dylan Harper, we saw today, was not in a cast or a brace on his hand, but he was very clearly favoring that left thumb that was operated on just a couple of weeks ago. And De'Aaron Fox, the other hand friend who had surgery on his finger,
which is still jacked pinky, up, by the way. It still looks like Bob Gambert's.
No, it looks like it's not as bad as what Anthony Munoz.
Jeez.
What did you do? Punch a wall?
I kept break. I was the dumbest linebacker ever.
Show the camera.
It almost is like that. Fox's looks still like that.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. And so De'Aaron Fox recovered. Wait, you're about to tell that story. Go ahead.
I was the dumbest linebacker ever. I would always have my hands like up like this when I was playing linebacker, and would continually get my fingers crushed between helmets. And then I'd play basketball, was already weak, and it would break like every other game.
And that's why
I just left it.
And that's why Bob's here and not in the NFL.
Yeah, that's all that's holding.
Yeah,
me
that's
back.
all.
Yeah,
it was.
that's
So
what
close.
held him back. But anyway, so we learned a little bit more about De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper's injury. De'Aaron Fox apparently is still nursing a hamstring injury, which prevented him from going to China in July, and it is now late September, and he's saying that he might miss the beginning of the season. Let's hear from De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. I mean, I felt like I could have played a little bit ago, but they're not letting me. So, I mean, we're taking it day by day, but I feel great.
You feel like you'll be on the floor at some point during camp and preseason? They're just kind of.
I don't think for preseason. I don't think I'll be ready for opening night. Well, I think I'm ready, but I don't have that expertise. But I mean, we go off of kind of how I feel, and like I said, I feel like I can go out there and play right now.
I mean, I definitely believe so. I think just listening to the staff, the medical staff, to the coaches, and just getting their advice. But for me personally, I feel good. And I think rehab's been going very well, and just been trying to stay at it day by day.
A little concerning hearing that De'Aaron Fox will miss the opening. It was all of preseason, and if he's still nursing that hamstring, then he must have missed quite a bit of time over the last 3 months while he's 2 months while he's been nursing it. If they're that concerned to hold him out until November 1st, which seems likely, then I think that is more of a issue than they're leading on.
So he's never had a hamstring before. Issue.
I was gonna say I think he has 2. But
Told me that told me in our sit down that he thinks it's only 1 or 2 games. But then,
he also said he thinks he's ready. So
yeah, well, he's running 15 miles an hour. He said his top speed is 17.8.
Jeez.
But he's running 15 miles an hour right now.
Thomas Morstead ran faster than that this
Dude,
past
you're
weekend.
talking about a guy that has a hamstring injury. I mean, give him his props.
He's working with the guys. He's playing. He's going 75%. He's just not going all out.
And it's hard. I mean, it is hard for a hamstring in basketball. You have so many different cutting motions and jumping and all of the fine, minute moves that you make on a basketball court can easily tweak that. So that makes sense. But he seemed like he's ready to come back. They're just kind of holding him and forcing him to stay on track. Yeah, a little bit more cautious.
And as far as Harper goes, he's going to miss the preseason, but he's supposed to be ready for opening night.
It was really funny. He was in the media room. They have like 4 or 5 different stations where you come in and do videos for their intros, and they do the headshots and all that stuff. And while Dylan Harper was over there, he didn't have anything on his thumb, but you can clearly see the scar on in between his thumb and his index finger. And so there was something on there, whether it was glue or a bandage or whatever. And so he was dribbling with his right hand, and the photographer asked him, "Can you dribble with both hands real quick?" And he was like, about to, and then he's like, "I don't know, actually. I don't know if I can do this. I'll go ahead." And so he took one dribble, and he was like, "Actually, hold on. Let me ask someone." So he called over Jordan Howenstein, and Jordan was like, "No, you cannot dribble. Do not dribble." And so he's like, "Okay, good thing I asked."
Yeah, you don't want to re-aggravate.
No, so we were all like, "Okay, well, there's the update on the Dylan Harper injury."
Stitch.
That's all that we needed was the little update on the Dylan Harper injury, and we got it unprompted as he was trying to do his photographs and all that stuff. Last thing on the Spurs, when you listen to everybody today, whether it was Jeremy Sohan, whether it was Keldon Johnson or Wemby or Mitch Johnson, and also I'm making a concerted effort to get Jeremy's name right this year. I've pronounced it wrong my entire life. No matter who you talk to, no matter who you heard from, defense was always one of the first things that came out of their mouths. We need to be better defensively. We have Wemby back. We have Steph. We have Dylan Harper. We have De'Aaron Fox. We have all these stoppers. You have Jeremy. You have Carter Bryant. You have Keldon Johnson. You have all these guys who could be good defensively and who can move in different spots, can kind of be adjustable and dependable on the defensive end. Is their biggest area of emphasis.
Yeah, and they hired Sean Sweeney from the Mavericks, who is known around the league as like the anti-Matt Eberflus of defensive coordinators for basketball.
Doesn't play any zone.
Correct. And he's come up with various ball pressure schemes. He's been copied by a few teams in the league, including Oklahoma City, about blitzing and some things that they do to put your best perimeter defender on the guy to make him feel most uncomfortable. Anyway, Fox talked about it. Fox said he was very difficult to play against. When I was in Sacramento, I had to go against Sean Sweeney defenses, and I always had a lot of respect for him because he made it very difficult. And he's brought that here this summer. He's going to be the associate head coach. And with Wemby and Castle and Devin and the length that they have.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Devin.
I think they think that's where they should put their emphasis. The other thing I'd like to mention is Steph Castle is going to be an all-star. I don't know that it's even going to take 4 or 5 years. And I would tell Spurs fans right now that there's a very good chance that by the end of this season, he's the second best player on this team, ahead of Fox. He's been that good this summer from everything that I hear. When I talked to him today, he said he comes into open gym wanting to dominate and be the best player on the court, including Wemby. If you're on my team, we're going to win, and I'm going to be the best player on our team. He's that confident, and from everything I hear, he is showing it.
If I told you that there was 3 all-stars on this team right now this season, would that surprise you?
Yeah, I don't think he's there yet.
Okay. That was what I wanted.
But I think he could be by the end of the season.
So I think when what I've gathered today is there's very real reason to be optimistic if you're a Spurs fan. That 50 wins.
That's what Fox said.
That's what Fox said?
To me, yeah.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah. He goes, I think 44 to 46 is what people are going to say, and I think those are our expectations. He goes, I think we can win 50.
There you go. That was my next question. So I hope to see it.
Very hard, though, in the West.
Amen.
Man, I hope to see it.
Amen.
Anything from before we move on to the Cowboys?
A few comments. Our good friend Tom Guerrero is in the house. He says, hello, boys. And he says that Wemby is eating tacos now. That's one of the reasons for it. Space Invaders is saying 45 to 48 wins. And our good friend Robert Smith, his comment is, I'm thinking the Spurs should get 45 wins, be the 7th seed, and be out of the playoffs in the second round.
That would be a successful season.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 45 wins.
Stop the streak.
I will take 45 wins and a play-in appearance.
Amen.
Top 8 in the
Amen.
top 8 seed in the West and 45 wins.
Amen.
I think that's very doable.
100%. 100%. I think in some Spurs fans' mind that would be a disappointment, but I don't think that would be a disappointment at all. You get 45 to 46 wins, 45 to 50. You get 6 to 8 seed in the West. Perfect season. Perfectly reasonable season, I should say.
Very much so.
All right, let's get to the Cowboys here. So yesterday, under all of the minutia of the Micah coming back to Dallas and the Packers visiting, and the Packers have never lost in Jerry World and blah, 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 blah. There was a football game that actually took place. And it looked horrible for the first quarter and a half.
It looked amazing for the first quarter and a half.
Okay, depending on what vision,
right,
what sight or what perspective you're looking at, it looked horrible for the Cowboys for the first quarter and a half. They're down 13-zip. The Packers are about to kick their extra point. It gets blocked and taken the other way, and so it's 13-2, a score you don't see every day.
3-point swing, right?
3-point swing,
ball game,
and then,
difference in the game.
That's right.
It was the difference in the game. I mean, it
multiple times
would have played out differently if had that not happened. And then they start to get a little bit of momentum, the Cowboys do. And you get a touchdown before the half, and then you get a turnover, and you get another touchdown before the half. And then you come out after halftime, and you have the ball, and you're able to get down there and get a field goal. And it kind of changed the perspective on everything in that game. However, God, the defense is horrible. The defense is just so bad that every time the Packers had it, you were like, okay, well, the Cowboys offense is going to have to go back out there and score again because there's no way that they're getting a stop.
Oh, that's what the Packers defense was saying. Please bail us out too. I mean, it was a dreadful performance by both defenses, or tip your cap to both offenses because both offenses played well last night.
Yeah, and the end result was the most unsatisfying word in sports, which is tie. 40-40 was the final. It was really close to the Packers pulling a Mike McCarthy and ending that game on what would have been the final play, which was a shot into the end zone, and then it ends up falling incomplete with had to have been less than a second left.
Kidding.
Like that ball seemed to hang in the air for long enough, and it must have hit with like a tenth of a second left on the ground, giving the Packers
I thought they would review that
long enough to kick a game-tying field goal.
What were they doing?
That's a very good question.
What were they doing? They were taking all the time in the world. There was no
as
urgency.
if there was another quarter of football or beyond left to play, right?
Yeah. Or if
when
they had
they
a timeout
burned their
or
last timeout, they should have had 2 plays called in the huddle.
Mm-hmm.
And basically your downs be damned. Like if you get a short they did get up and spike the next ball. They were damn lucky to get out of there. If that ball gets deflected up or goes any further than what it did, they don't even have a chance to win the game. I can't believe I saw what I was watching last night. It was that bad.
If Jack Sanborn just turns around and hits it up into the air or holds it, or grabs it, the game's over. You win.
It was face guarding, by the way.
No, I think they were just playing Tampa 2, and he was really trying not to get beat deep.
When they lined up to take the snap, I was 100% sure that he was going to spike it.
No, they lined up for the snap. Yumi and Richard were like, "This is the last play of the game." They hiked it with 6 seconds left.
Oh my God! 6 seconds.
Yeah, on that particular play, yes, they couldn't have spiked it because it was 4th down.
No, it was third. It was third down on that last play.
You're right.
They could have spiked it
because they kicked it on.
But when he got tackled, I think it was Wilson, to number 23, the running back in the flat. When he gets tackled for a loss, there was 23 seconds left.
Fire drill,
and they don't know what play it is. They don't know what they're running.
It was ridiculous.
You saw Jordan Love look at the sideline like, "What do you want us to do?" That should have been a conversation when you took the timeout before the play.
100%. But I mean, that whole lead in, the way they were managing that clock, it was if they were thinking that there was going to be an extended period of time that they had to play with. That whole drive was completely mismanaged from the get-go. Look, once they kick the field goal, and that's where I thought Dallas was going to lose right there. Once they kick the field goal, it's they're losing.
100%.
You needed to score right there. And then they were willy-nilly just taking their time the whole time. And it's you got that one timeout. You cannot go further without now having a second plan for stopping the clock, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't. It was really, really
I remember
managed.
with 1:52 left, they were inside the 2-minute warning. They were running plays. And I think I even said it to Matt. I said, man, they are taking their sweet time here.
And I looked at you and I was like, there's plenty of time. They know that they're going to score anyway. It doesn't really matter. And then it kept ticking down. And I was like, do they know that there's not a second overtime? It didn't look good. But anyway, the result was a 40-40 tie.
Everybody's happy.
Scorigami.
Or not.
It was the first time in NFL history that a game has ended in a 40-40 tie. Also the first time in NFL history that the home team has scored 40 points and not turned the ball over and not won the game. So you can look at this a couple of different ways. But
we just mention though that even though it didn't turn it over, that the Cowboys are idiots. Leah Fowle's late hit was moronic.
Yeah,
they have offensive linemen that jump. The Cowboys would have a 15-yard. The interception by Diggs overruled because
it was all of the big plays were
all
overruled.
of the big 20-yard plus plays were nullified because of dumb, stupid penalties.
Let's hear from the guys after the game on what they felt like when they saw that it was a tie.
I'm so proud of our guys' fight, but golly, I wanted them to get that win. And so I think that's what I'll take away from it. I mean, to come in and, play that team, that's a damn good football team we just played. And, our guys just battled for 70 minutes and the ebbs and flows. And so I told them how proud I was of them. It's a tie. And I really don't know what to say about that. But, I'll remember it for a while.
You don't play the game for ties. I've told y'all before, I don't care about the stats. I don't care about the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. I just care about the end result and the win. And so when you don't get that, right now it's tough for me, guess 10 years in, the first tie I've been a part of, it's hard to kind of wrap my head around it because I know I'd feel a hell of a lot worse if it was a loss. But I'm not satisfied. Not that I would be if we won, but it's a weird feeling.
That's another one of the. I said the Giants game was a crazy game, one of the craziest games I've been a part of, and I mean that's a close second, if not the first. So
the best description I could give you, it's kind of preposterous, is it's like kissing your sister. Like nobody wins. At least the sour taste is just weird. Yeah. I think that's the first time I've ever tied, besides youth soccer.
Soccer has some time.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a fan.
Hey, don't crap on soccer. All right.
That's an old
That's
football
literally
saying.
you said that like 4 times last night. Is that a tie is like kissing your
Ties
sister?
like kissing your sister.
Yeah, if your sister's Cindy Crawford, that'd be pretty cool.
No, what?
Gosh.
I knew this was going to go off the rails when I said that.
Oh, okay.
How ironic.
That's an oldie
though.
but goodie.
How ironic that
The second time today I've
it's
used
an
that
old
reference,
football
by the
term.
way.
It's a tie is like kissing your
You
sister.
repeating a reference? No.
It's an old,
Imagine that.
old football term, ties like kissing your sister. And we just so happen to be talking about Jerry Jones' team, who is from Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the game ends in a tie. It was. I think you can take a lot of positives on the Cowboys side from this, especially offensively. Shoddy and Dak were on the same exact page yesterday. That was one of the best games I've played from Dak, or I've seen from
Yes.
Dak in a very long time. He was
Yes.
exceptional. They were running the ball exceptionally, which I thought was going to happen when you go into a game like that, because what you do when you don't, what do offensive linemen love to do? Run the football. They don't want to pass pro. They want to go forward. They don't want to go backwards because they know that they're going to get their asses kicked when they go backwards. So they want to go forward. And when you have 2 backup offensive linemen, and then you have Terrence Guyton who gets hurt, and you don't want Micah Parsons to go off on you, and Tyler Guyton, Terrence Steele. And then Steele also was going in and out for Lane Thomas. And you don't want Micah to tee off on you or Rashawn Gary to tee off on you. What do? You run the ball up their ass. And what can't the Packers do right now? Stop the run. Why? Because they traded Kenny Clark to the Cowboys. So it all worked out to where the game plan came together extremely well for the Cowboys. And as soon as they were able to start running the ball, it opened up the play action. And George Pickens made a couple of huge catches. Welcome to Dallas, George Pickens. My goodness, he had a hell of a game.
And you got to tip your cap to both Shoddy and Dak. They had a great game plan to neutralize Micah. And, you know, they've had CD go out, and Shoddy talked about it after the game. The game that they had from Flournoy on the reverse, the Jalen Tolbert toe tapper, the Lane Thomas coming in and filling in for Steele.
And when he lined up correctly.
When he lined up correctly. But Shoddy was in his bag calling plays.
He was in a rhythm.
And Dak was executing, throwing the underneath stuff to Ferguson. Pickens, Dak decided, I'm just going to the ball that Pickens catches at the 1 yard line was just a complete jump ball interception. I'm just going to trust my guy to go get it. And he did.
Well, it was the right ball to throw, though, because when you have a single high safety right in the middle of the field, there was no way he was going to make it over there in time.
But just throw it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
you one-on-one coverage, trust your guy.
Yeah. And Dak, look, nobody's been harder on Dak than me. Dak's been really good.
Other thing I really liked, especially when it came to the Cowboys, is that their run defense has 100% improved from where it was last season. Kenny Clark has made a big difference. Solomon Thomas wasn't very good last night. There was one play by Josh Jacobs when he runs right by Solomon Thomas, and he was like,
yeah, but it's Josh Jacobs.
Come back.
So good.
That's true.
It's
but
Josh
to hold him under 90 yards on the night, and really most of those yards came on about 3 runs. The rest of them, he was running into a wall.
Yeah, he's their best player on offense. There's no question about that. And it sucked that he had to go out, but hats off to both teams, really, when you think about it. I mean, if you would have told everybody that the Cowboys would have scored 40 points with 2 linemen hurt, with CD out, same with the Packers. They were missing a couple of offensive linemen, and then obviously lost some guys during the course of that game because of how physical it was. I mean, didn't think that the Packers defense was going to get wrecked like that, and it was not something that we had seen the first few weeks of the season at all.
Well, last thing on the Cowboys, let's get to Dak Prescott talking about Micah Parsons and his effect on this game.
Man, it goes back to the plan. I guess I told you guys on Thursday, right? Like, I mean, it was going to be hands on deck, whether it be the tight ends, or whether it be the running backs. And honestly, there was one-on-ones, and those tackles did their job, stepped up and did what they needed to do, kept them off, kept them away from me. Obviously, I told you I'm playing against a time clock, whether it's Micah or whether it's the rest of those guys, Gary. I mean, they've got a great front up there. And so, we played on time and got the ball out. Receivers got to their spots that allowed me to play on time. And I guess they gave them, I found out, half a sack on that last little, that's for y'all storyteller guys. So it's no sack.
0 yards.
Yeah, they did that for y'all. They did that for y'all for the theatrics of it, for the storyline. Yeah, like a tie.
All right, first of all, it shouldn't have been a sack. He got tackled at the line of scrimmage. It was 100% a tackle and not a sack.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Game-saving tackle, though.
Yeah,
Dak
100%.
scores.
He should have scored that touchdown.
Yeah.
But I thought that the game plan to take Micah out of the game was exceptional from Brian Schottenheimer. You either run away from him, or that when they ran towards him, they pulled somebody towards him and just got Micah completely out of the game.
He was doubled all night.
Yeah, he was doubled. There was a couple of times when he got close. There was one where he almost caused the fumble, but Dak, I don't know how he felt Micah's arm coming, but he pulled his arm back just in time to not fumble that football.
And you see what happens when you don't have a training camp. I mean, the story repeats itself over and over and over and over again.
I mean,
not in great shape.
No, not in great shape. And Micah, I think you could see. I'm no body language expert, but you could see that there was some weight on him yesterday.
I think a lot of it was fatigue.
A lot of that.
There was some fatigue. There was some injury. I think he just wasn't at his best.
I think he was also frustrated at the game plan that Dallas put together to completely take him out of the game, which they did. I mean, he didn't do anything in that game until that tackle in overtime.
And one other thing, I'm all for positive brain health, but can we shame the Packer receivers into losing those guardian caps? Those are awful.
They're very ugly.
They look like
Megamind.
Yeah.
They look
very bad.
Never mind. I can't.
Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah,
that was maybe Dobbs' best game as a Packer.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. It'd be hard to have a better game than that. All right, last thing real quick. Chuck, give me 90 seconds on the Texans beating up on an FCS team.
Wonder what happens when you just put really a quarter and a half of good football together, complimentary football across the board. Hopefully this changes the trajectory of Houston's season in general. I mean, we talked about this last week. They were in the other 3 losses, right there if they make any kind of plays whatsoever. But, just that first touchdown yesterday kind of knocked the lid off the rim, so to speak. I mean, they were really fantastic the rest of that game. Yes, you can say what you will about 10, but sometimes you need a get-right game, and you got to see it. And I think, hopefully with the way they got, really good play from some of their backups, especially at running back, maybe this will be something that they can hang their hat on.
Woody Marks might be a player.
Let's see if they can do this against a team that is actually good at football.
Like the Ravens, who have a sucky record too. So we'll see.
The Ravens just lost Roquan Smith for 4 or 5 weeks, and they lost Matabike for the rest of the season. I don't know if the Ravens
Lamar
are going to
Jackson may not play.
I don't know if the Ravens are very good. So we'll see.
They're 1-3.
Yeah, right now they're not. So
tough schedule though.
I mean,
pretty weak conference there. Pretty weak division.
Pretty weak division. We're going to see the Bungles tonight with Jake Browning at quarterback, and they're probably going to beat the Broncos the way the friggin' Broncos are playing. Anyway, that's all we got for you today on the Sneakers Cleats podcast. Anything else, Bob? Guys? No? Anything?
No, sir.
No? All right. That's all we got for you today. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, give us a download, 5-star review. Helps us out a lot. We'll see you right back here on Thursday for more.